This time I gotta work my way back up, right from the bottom. My last loss against Sean Brady, that was disappointing to say the very, very freaking least. And there was a reason why I haven't been wanting to talk about it, because
two weight classes, you must match and fight ready assassin. Gastelum, passing him, double leg him and tapping him. Who was the first to bring the smoke straight to Adesanya? This 5'9" middleweight, call me the brown bomber.
All right, guys, let's talk about it. I know I haven't gone over it, but my last loss at UFC Austin against Sean Brady, and there was a reason why I haven't been wanting to talk about it, because I just hate that fight. That was extremely disappointing for me. I mean, we did so much work. We put in so much work, and we don't do it to go out there and perform that way, right? That was disappointing to say the very, very freaking least. This is not what we train for. This is not what I do this for. I'm here to win. I'm here to be champion, and to go out there and put on a performance like that is just soul crushing. And after coming back after a lot of setbacks and hoping to get on a good momentum and just getting back on track, right, to where I need to be able to fight for a title, and just, it sets you back, right? You think you're jumping 2 feet in front, and you take 5 steps back, and it hurts and it crushes you. But this is what we do. This is what we sign up for, right? This is what we sign up for. And anytime we enter that UFC octagon, there's a 50% chance to win, 50% chance to lose. So we know that. I just think it's time for me to rebuild from the very bottom. I always try and get the very best matchup, the most exciting matchup with the best killer and the most highest contender that I can get, because I know that I can win these fights. But maybe it's time for me to kind of step back a little bit, regroup, rebuild, work my way back up, not try to go for the kill right away, right? Not try to go for the most highest ranked fighter that I can get, because that's how I've always done it. That's how I always wanted to do it. I always ask for the best possible matchup, and that's why these matchmakers like me, right? I don't mean to pull my own chain, but yeah, they like me for that reason. I never say no to any fights, and I've had a very good relationship with them for a decade, right? That I've been fighting the best fighters in the world, and it's for a reason, right? We get along really well because they work with me, I work with them. We scratch each other's back, and it works out, right? But I think this time I'm gonna have to rebuild, start from the bottom, and work my way back up. And trust me, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to kind of rebuild and work my way back up, and see a lot of the names that see a lot of names again on the way back up, right? My coach told me, hey, we trained for the weight cut, but we didn't train for the fight. And, I think he was right. I think a lot of that camp was revolved around making the weight a lot. And that's my fault as well, right? Because I need to make sure that I'm on an optimal weight, even off camp. And so I came into that camp a little heavier than I should have. And so that camp was kind of pretty much focused around losing the weight rather than working on skill sets and developing new skills, right? So, learning process. It was my return back to the welterweight division after like 7-8 years. It took a lot longer than it should have, in my opinion, right? And a lot of your guys' opinion, I'm sure, as well. I should have been at welterweight the entire time. But since I had the success that I did in middleweight, I kind of just stayed there, right? And I made my career at middleweight. But I'm a welterweight fighter, guys. I should always be fighting guys at that weight class, and that's the weight class that I'm going to stay at, and that'll be my next fight. When I'm going to be fighting, I don't know yet. I'm thinking towards the summer, June, July. But right now, I'm enjoying this time off, time with my family, and time traveling, right? Doing seminars, doing other things that make me a little bit of money, and it kind of helps. But at the end of the day, I'm just enjoying life, man. These past few years have been super, extremely stressful, and so right now that I have a little bit of time to kind of enjoy myself, I'm gonna do it. And I'm doing seminars out in New York. I'm doing seminars out in Thailand, out in Mexico City. So I'm enjoying myself. But up until the summer, I think is when I plan to fight next. And like I said, I'm gonna go on another run. I want another title run, but this time I gotta work my way back up, right from the bottom. So yeah, and this time off, I definitely wanted to get my jujitsu better, right? I think once I got my black belt, like I kind of just abandoned jujitsu. I was like, all right, I did it, right? And I focused solely on my striking, and I did that to a fault, to where, in this last camp, I was kind of mesmerized by the fact that I forgot a lot of these little JV wrestling details. I was like, oh my God, I gotta go back to JV wrestling. Because a lot of these things that I need to work on was just reminders, right? I've gotten so much knowledge that I also floshed a lot of it out. And so I need to go back to the basic with wrestling, and I definitely need to work on my wrestling again. Remind myself that that's my first love, wrestling, and I was obsessed with the sport, and I need to go back to it as well as jujitsu. So the grappling aspect of my game is the one where I'm gonna focus on for the next few weeks or for the next few months. I'm going to Thailand. There's a lot of striking out there, but there's very good wrestling and grappling partners out there. The Hickman brothers, great wrestlers themselves. So I'm gonna be working with them out in Thailand. And I originally wanted to go to Dagestan. I asked my manager to reach out to his people out in Dagestan. I never heard back. So I'm going to Thailand instead. And so On a Mission for Gold continues. So a lot has changed in my life since that loss. I got a partner, a buddy with me, and his name is Achilles. This is my son now. Don't make fun of me, but I do treat him like he is my boy. And man, I'm in love. I'm obsessed with my dog, with my puppy, and he is with me. And yeah, it's been fun. I didn't grow up having dogs, so this is my first dog, and I'm learning with him. And it's been an exciting adventure since I got him. I got him after my fight, and it's been great. It's been great. He's a French bulldog. He's 5 months old barely, and he's just a ball of energy, just bouncing off the walls all the time. But he also sleeps a lot. And so it's been fun, man. It's been fun. I think I might get him a female here in the near future. So we'll see what the future holds. But yeah, that's my boy Achilles. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode. Always, we got to thank Jimmy Bars. They stick with us through the ups, through the downs, just like a lot of you have. So please help support the people that support us. Go to jimmybars.com or follow them at Jimmy Bars on Instagram and get Jimmy on.